can't beat him, join him.
He made it better.
Oh man. Hey, it's been such a great time already with our chief.
Our chief.
Chief Aram Choe. Alright.
Oh, come on.
But hey, here's a fun question. What are some
I'm gonna get demoted after this. Or extra promoted.
Guilty by association with these morons.
Guess what? You're double chief now.
double chief?
You're gonna run all.
Guess what? You're Secretary of Defense now.
What are some of the best perks of being a cop?
You get free donuts?
Yeah, dude, that was my question.
No, not free, but you get sometimes people will bring local businesses will bring donuts. Yeah, but if I go to
Sorry, go ahead.
but if I do go to a donut shop, they're not free. I pay for them.
So don't you get a crazy discount at In-N-Out? Do you guys get crazy discount?
What?
Yes.
What is it? What's a crazy?
50% up.
50?
And it's their policy. We tried to say that. So like we don't ever want to abuse it, right? So we don't. That's why you don't see a lot of cops
10 by 10s.
But the thing is, like, it's illegal in California for cops to receive gratuities, right? And that's considered getting a discount might be considered as gratuity.
There's military discount?
But for a police officer, it's illegal, right?
It's illegal? Yeah. Why? Because it's like a bribe?
Code. Yeah, it could be construed as a bribe. Like, maybe you'll patrol me a little bit more if I give you a discount.
That's the unspoken ask.
Yeah. So
in every state, that's illegal?
I don't know about every state, but I know in California it is. But how they've got In-N-Out got away from that, just like Chick-fil-A, they put it in their policy that any first responder wearing a uniform in our establishment, it's in their policy.
Give them 50%.
That's cool.
So, so the departments can't argue with that. It's like, hey, no, we're not doing anything special for this officer or that officer. It's all.
Because I see that sign in some restaurants, like some mom and pop shops. It'll be like any first responders in uniform don't pay in this establishment or something.
Yeah, like the restaurant I used to work at in Pasadena, they're not open anymore. But the manager, we would be open till like 4 a.m. on the weekends and all that. So they liked when cops came because there would always be some kind of fights or whatever. In exchange for that, they'll just be like, yeah, like, sit down, I'll take care of you guys. They just liked it being a cop hangout.
Right.
Presence.
Because, yeah, like, one, the gangs weren't around, and two, like, they'd always kind of intimidate the people that would, like, fight or whatever.
And I don't know if you noticed, and I'm sure it's not every officer that it came to that establishment, but if they received a discount, they would leave you a fat tip, right?
Oh.
So that's what we do. Like, hey, and that's what we're told. It's like, hey, one way to avoid that is you can't force them to charge you full price, right? But you already ate the food, and you could feel better about your conscience if you leave them the difference on a tip instead. And what they want to do with that, if they want to give it to the wait staff, that's fine. That's on them. So that's how you navigate through that.
We give a discount at Juby. First responder.
Oh, really?
I'm all over it.
Yeah.
Bring in my badge.
But then,
all types of first responders?
But they never ask. That's the thing, is cops in uniform, like...
even like the parking ticket ladies?
Double. You charge them double.
You know what I've noticed? Military wives would ask. They'll be like, do you guys do military discount? But I think it's because they're shopping and they probably have an ID or something or whatever. But most people don't ask.
Do you say no to military wives?
No, I mean, if they ask, we'll just be like, yeah, we'll give you military discount. But then,
But do you say first?
But it's uncomfortable, right? Like, people already are not. You don't know people. Like, the joke is firefighter walks into a room. Hey, what do you do? I'm a firefighter. Cop walks into a room. Insert lie here. You know, we never are upfront with what we do. So if we're off duty, or because we don't have to say, do we get if you want to give us a cop discount because we're on duty, that's one thing. But like Under Armour, Nike, they give discounts, 15% off discounts to first responders. I'm not going to go up to the register and say, oh, I want my 15% discount on the cop. You know, that'll never happen. So
You don't just flash a badge or something?
No. I mean, as a matter of fact, I don't. It's you want to look up here. When you're off duty, you don't want to look like a cop at all, and that's just there are the exceptions, right? You see those guys that wear the blue line hat and Black Rifle Coffee T-shirt. And you sniff them out. There's a cop. I don't want to be
Sunglasses on your hat.
Yeah, Oakley's right there.
Or you could do like, I'm reaching for your wallet to pay, and then your badge falls out. You know?
Right.
What was that?
Whoops, sorry. A little heavy.
Fall on the ground.
Radio makes that noise.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, that's my chief.
My wallet's actually behind my bulletproof vest.
And here it is.
Hawaii. So there's actually a lot of JK fans that are HPD, And I got to meet the chief of police because his right hand, or the driver dude, like he's a JK fan too, and then he was just like, "Oh, Joe," and then yeah, so a lot of them come by Jumbi, whatever, and when they're out of uniform, not like they don't look like bro cops, you know?
Right.
But maybe it's the state, like nobody actually.
Yeah, the culture's so different in
Yeah.
Hawaii too.
Ah, dude.
Yeah.
Don't wear slip
So
ups.
it's just like like a regular dude, like board shorts and t-shirt, you know, like, yeah.
And besides that, I mean, there's other little perks, and the perks by themselves aren't great, by individually, but adding up, it's like cool. Yeah, it's like, we talked about the magazine cap. The cops don't have to worry about magazine caps.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a great perk.
So it is.
Can you conceal carry?
Yeah, you could carry all 50
Concealed
states.
Carry all 50 states.
What about if you retire?
So you can maintain a weapon at retirement, but you have to qualify. I forget what the frequency is, maybe twice a year or once a year, to maintain your certification that you can qualify.
That's all part of the post certification
Yes.
for all 50 states.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all reciprocable.
Damn.
Are there some like lesser known perks where like you get like fast pass at Disneyland or something?
See, that would be cool.
So no, I wish
30, 60 or whatever.
Disney doesn't do that, but Knott's does. Knott's does a salute to heroes once a year.
See, I wouldn't have known that. That's
And it used to be free for the officer and one other person, and then additional tickets were $20. But the last couple of years, it's been $25 a person. So like I took my family this last time they offered that, and so we, I have 4 kids, my wife and I. So $25. I could have paid
$100 for 4 kids? That's like
Yeah.
$1,000 at Disneyland.
right?
really good. Yeah, that's great.
Knott's does that. They do really good with that. The funny thing is, I teach on the side, and I get more retail perks through teaching than I do.
Really? As a teacher?
Teaching?
Yeah, so like Enterprise Rent-A-Car, when I travel, I'll always do Enterprise because through my school, they have a contract with Enterprise. So we booked a van for Hawaii, and a van for a week is usually about $700 or $800, but it's half price.
What? That's a good deal.
Yeah, so that perk is something I utilize more.
Teacher's discount.
Where do you teach?
I teach public relations, journalism, strategic communication, and speech communication at Cal Baptist.
Wow.
How the heck?
How many jobs you got, man?
Hey, brother, you got like
You got like 3 jobs.
10 jobs.
I don't understand how you're good at time management, dude.
Yeah,
So the teaching job was, I got lucky. I fell into the online professional studies, so I don't physically have to be on campus. Everything, and it's not asynchronous, or it is asynchronous. It's not like I have to be online at a certain time. When I'm off duty, and on one of my off days, I record my lecture and I upload the lecture, and the kids have the week to turn it in, and everything's due on midnight Sunday. And then on my next day off, I grade papers and stuff like that. So
you could do it on your own time.
yeah, so I've been teaching since 2016.
Wow.
And I get the same classes, so a lot of my recorded lectures, I record them evergreen, so I'll never like, hey, Merry Christmas, because I might be teaching that same class in spring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the first year was tough for me because I'd never taught anything, let alone at the university level, and I got lucky with that. Trying to get into a university is like trying to get in the mafia. It's like you have to know people, but and I hate to say tragedy did this, but the year I graduated with my master's at Cal Baptist was the year my mom was killed, and I was getting ready to quit the program. I had one friend out of my cohort, the rest of the students in that group going through. Her name is Victoria Brody. She was getting her master's as well. And earlier, about a year prior, her husband had been battling cancer, and he came out of it and got it again, and she was getting ready to put school away. And I said, hey, you're doing really good, and I would encourage you to stay because it's a good distraction for you, but ask your husband what he would want you to do. And she says, I don't have to. I already know what he would want me to do. He would know that this is my dream, is to get my master's, and she wanted to become a professor, so she was going to get her doctorate as well. So she did. And then a few months later, my mom died, and I was getting ready to quit, but we were only like a month or 2 away from graduation. And she said, hey, remember what you told me? And I think it'd be good for you to stick around and be a distraction. And it really was. For me to focus on school instead of just sitting at home. Because, working a full-time job, running a family, and then getting your master's after you've been away from school for like 10, 12 years, it's nerve-wracking to be a student all over again, yeah. And I did, and I knew I was doing good. I was getting A's. And then the class that my mom was killed on, I missed a couple assignments, and that was the only B I ever got. But I figured other students were doing the same thing.
You got a B?
Fuck.
I'm no longer Asian. I was a Bijan.
But like going through something that traumatic and you got a B?
You know what happened? I was never a good student
I would've
before
dropped out.
Yeah,
I was
for
a
real.
cop. I was never a good student before I was a cop. But because when you write police reports, factual reports that are backed up with references, and they're chronological, you end up becoming a good essay writer. School was not. I mean, school was.
That's the wax on, wax off
It was
moment.
more of. I had to get it done, right? It wasn't hard. I read the books, but I
Discipline just like went times a
You're
million.
writing what's actually happening.
and it was writing, and my papers were great, but I thought other students' papers were great too, right? I'm thinking maybe their grading standards were lower because it's online, or maybe because it's adult working students. And I didn't know that some of my classmates were traditional students too. They took hybrid courses until I graduated. And when I graduated, they were saying, "Hey, next up is the Outstanding Graduate Student of the Year Award. This person academically finished #1 in their graduating class, exhibited good citizenship, and all this other stuff. And this person is currently a corporal with the El Monte Police Department."
Future chief, give it up for Mr.
Future double chief. And they went, wee!
They threw the caps in the air.
And of course, the person I sat next to, the only person I confided in about what happened to my mom was Victoria.
Wow, cool.
She gave me a big smile. She said, "Go up, that's your award." And I got it. And my family was there, my wife and kids.
Damn, that's
And I lost it.
so sweet.
Lost it up there. The audience, just clapped like crazy. And I found out later that her best friend was the department faculty lead, Marianne Pearson, Victoria Brody's best friend. And so she told her about what happened. I think so, maybe sympathy points or whatever.
The wheels a little bit.
But they thought it was exceptional that I stayed in school and graduated.
That is
Shows
exceptional.
character.
That is exceptional.
So Victoria ended up going to get her doctorate at Pepperdine, and she said she invited me to go get it with her, and I said, "Nah, I'm done with school. I'll never need a doctorate." And she says, "Okay, totally feel you. The only reason why I'm telling you is because I think you have a story to tell, and you'd be good with teaching kids. Because I'm getting my doctorate, they offered me a teaching job at CBU as an associate professor, with the promise that I'll finish my doctorate, and I think I can get you in." And I said, "Man, I'm probably not going to get my doctorate. My family it already endured me going through a couple years of school." And so that was the end of it. About a week later, I get a call from Marianne Pearson that says, "We have an opening. We'd like you to put in for it. But we understand that you can't be a professor, so put in for teaching assistant. And we still want you to be a part of the university." And in my heart, I really wanted to be a part of the university too, because the school was just transitioning from Division II to Division I. The athletes, there was a buzz around the school. We were one of the fastest growing universities in the country. When I had gone, there was about 5,000 students, and we're at least double that size now. So I said, "Yeah, let's do it. I'll be a teaching assistant." I'm still plugged into the school, and I don't have to get my doctorate. Well, as I'm interviewing, I get to the vice president of the school for the final interview and says, "Aram, I like you. I think you do really good here, but not as a teaching assistant." I'm like, "Oh, okay, maybe security or something." I'm gonna scratch off teaching assistant and move you forward as an adjunct professor.
Wow.
So I got lucky. I mean, and then I thought maybe 1 or 2 years, but I loved it so much. I've had and over the years, the student athletes have gravitated to my class because a lot of these student athletes have to take online courses. And I feel, because I was a working professional, and I know what the difficulty these student athletes must have having to travel, play sports, rehab, train, and so I have a heart for them. So I'm very lenient with the hard, fast rule of turning in work. I'm like, just tell me you have a game, tell me you have practice, whatever, and I'll let you turn it in late. And the coaches have appreciated that. So over the years, I've had some significant athletes at our university that I still maintain relationships to this day through Instagram or phone calls and stuff. And so I feel like, what Victoria and Marianne saw in me with having the potential to give back to the university, it was more than just teaching. I have such zeal for the school. I love it. If you follow my page, you'll see I'm always posting when game day is or when they have an incredible accomplishment, and I love it.
That's cool. Damn.
Dang, that's not luck, brother. You just a man.
Yeah. I don't think that's luck, dog.
I haven't there's certainly people that are more academically accomplished than me or better cops than me that just, luck had a role in it too. You have to be competent, obviously, but luck definitely played a role. Because I have some friends that have doctorates now that can't get into a university to teach. So
They just don't know how to network.
I do believe networking is huge too, right? Who you circle, who's in your circle, who's in your extended circle. It all matters, You never know when that opportunity is going to come later when there's a need for you. It's like, oh, I actually know a guy, or I know a guy, and you help each other. You surround yourself with good people, and good things can happen.
I'm pretty skillless, and like I don't know how I get to places, but it's just all networking.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like
That's a skill in of itself.
you like somebody, they like you. You help them out with something, they remember you. Yeah. It's that simple.
Well, loyalty too, right? Loyalty and networking, those are all skills. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has those characteristics in their pocket. Some people can't be loyal at all. Some people can't network at all.
I made my own DEI.
That's tight. Shout out to Joe.
In a journalism class from a teacher that can slam you, arrest you, fail you, and then post it, and you get 1,000 likes.
That's
range.
gangster. That's tight.
range.
Awesome.
Damn. No wonder the athletes like taking class with you.
For real.
No, and it's opened up some really good conversation too, because not everybody likes cops, right? And especially students, this generation, they're a little bit more woke than maybe people my age, and so it does open up those opportunities for me to have dialogue with them. So hey, totally get it. I'm not offended. Just tell me why. Cool. Can I tell you why I think maybe
You're stupid as fuck.
But everybody has different circumstances. Maybe a bad experience.
Guy's a
Right?
master communicator.
The main reason people don't like cops is because they don't know any cool cops.
For real. That's absolutely. You're the perfect bridge for that. You know.
There's a lot of cool cops out there, but the opportunities maybe aren't there.
They're not cheap,
So
though.
I tell them, if I tell them like you have access to a cop. So aside from this class, on the side, away from school, if you ever have any questions that you want to ask me, because you've access to a police officer is not easy, right? Especially one that's willing to open up to you. Ask me whatever you want. Yeah, ask me whatever you want. And they do. A lot of these students. I gotta tell you, to knock on wood, and to this day, I have not had a negative student evaluation from somebody that just didn't like cops. So
That's so cool.
Oh yeah.
so I think there's something to be said that of having openness and access will at least put a grain of, start sprouting a seed to willing to have dialogue.
Good, yeah.
Stop. Order.
I like the idea of trying to prove cops are cool by just being turn on your web class and be like,